A very good evening to one and all present over here. Before starting the session, I would like to give a small introduction. So, Panchajanya is a divine conch of Bhagwan Sri Krishna which was blown during Kurukshetra, indicating the start of Dharma Yuddha that followed. Their all efforts were done for the establishment of Dharma. Dharma was kept over personal relations and motives. Keeping the same motive in our mind, our organization will work towards establishing the importance and necessity of following and imbibing the Bharatiya culture, accepting our roots and making people realize the true essence of Ayurveda, not only as a treatment modality but also as a way of life. All this while walking in the path of Dharma. Hence, our motto is Shreyam Bharatiyam Arogyam Ayurvedam. The founders of this organization started this because we felt the need to spread the knowledge of Bharatiya culture Ayurveda, the true history of Bharata Rashtra and values to all the strata of people in every corner of the world. Also, we being the founders of Ayurveda aspirants know the inside out of today's medical field. Hence, they aim to make people aware of this and also try our best to solve this on the go. With this aim in mind, I would like to welcome you all to Pragnavaridhi lecture series conducted for second year students. Today we have Vaidya Santosh sir. Sir is currently working as associate professor in Department of Rasashastra and Vaishajya Kalpana in SDM Institute of Ayurveda and Hospital, Hassan. Sir has done his UG in Mysore University in 1999, MD in Kerala University in 2006. Sir is pursuing PhD in RGHS Bengaluru. Sir has a teaching experience of 18 years for UG and 15 years for PG. And Sir has guided 17 PG research works till date. Today, Sir will be taking Aushadhiya Nirmana and Paribhasha. Handing over the session to you, sir. You can carry on. And I welcome you on the board.
Thank you, madam. The outset, let me thank the organizers of Pragnavaridhi or Panchajanya group for hosting such programs for the benefit of the students studying Ayurveda. In the beginning, let me inform you that my name is Govinda Sharma. I am not Santosh. My name is Govinda Sharma, and all other points given in the introduction are very fine. I am an associate professor in the Department of Rasashastra and Biological at STM College of Ayurveda and Hospital, Hassan. I did my
Sir, I'm
undergraduation from Mysore University in 1994 to 1999, and I did my post graduation from Kerala University and I completed in 2006. Today, we are going to discuss two important topics of Rasashastra and Vaishyakalpana. The chronological development of Ayurveda, Aushadhi Nirmana is the first topic, and the second topic is Paribhasha. The topics which have been given in the beginning of the syllabus are going to be discussed today. As this particular presentation is related with the exam oriented preparation of the students, let me focus more on exam oriented preparation rather than going to the individual descriptions of individual topics. As you can see here, the contents and weightage given to the individual topics is displayed here. The first chronological development of Ayurveda Aushadhi Nirmana is the first topic which has been given weightage of 5 marks, and you can see that there are no MCQs. There are what you call allotted for this particular topics, and there are no long essay questions also for 10 marks. There are no questions that are allotted as per this particular topic. Whereas the second topic, that is Paribhasha terminology, the 10 marks are allotted to this particular topic, and MCQs as well as short essay questions, short answer questions, that is 5 marks questions, are allotted as per this particular topic. You can see that as per this 5 marks MCQs from Paribhasha and one question of 5 marks each from each topic. 5 marks question from chronological development, and 5 marks question from Paribhasha Prakarana uh, are allowed as per this particular topic. And you can also see that MCQs have weightage from all the topics. Must to know, desirable to know, as well as nice to know topics will have MCQs, whereas short answer questions will not have nice to know category of topics. Only must to know and desirable to know will have questions from these particular topics. We can see that there are no MCQs from first topic, so there is no question of point 3, that is MCQ from first topic. Only short answer questions are allowed from this particular topic, which will cover only must to know and desirable to know points. Whereas Paribhasha, we have both MCQ as well as short answers. So maybe that nice to know category of points also have to be given due importance while considering this Paribhasha Prakarana. Let us discuss first topic in the beginning. The first topic is the history and chronological development of Ayurvedic-Aushadhi Nirmanam, which includes both history and development of Rasashastra and history and development of Kalpana clubbed together. And of course, you can see that it is a must to know topic. Historical evaluation of Ayurvedic-Aushadhi Nirmana is a must to know MK, and contribution of Nagarjuna Acharya in Rasashastra is also a MK topic, and important classical textbooks which have been dealt under a topic called Rasa Vangmaya is also a important topic because it is DK, desirable to know. And recent developments in Ayurvedic pharmaceutics, that is DK, that is desirable to know. And difference between definition and difference between Rasa Rasayana is also DK, that is desirable to know. And only Rasashala, Rasamantapa and Beshajagara, which have been dealt under this particular topic, are nice to know. And as per the classification of marks, there are only essay type of short answer questions are permitted from this particular topic. So Rasashala, Rasamantapa and Beshajagara is only a nice to know for students, and as per exam oriented preparation is required, we do not have to give much stress and importance to this particular topic. But obviously, please remember, my dear students, that it can be another question that is asked in practical or viva questions. Let us give a brief insight into history and chronological development of Rasashastra and Kalpana. We can see that the books like Charaka Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, Ashtang Hridaya, Ashtang Sangraha, and Harita Samhita, Bhela Samhita, Kashyapa Samhita, so many Samhita related books, they have given in detail about Panchavida Kashaya Kalpana, about various formulations like Sitopalada Churnam, that is discussed under Raja Yakshma Chikitsa Prakaranam, Chavanaprasha Valeham, that is given. So many formulations are discussed in Samhitas. But a classical, what you call, systematic classification of the formulations into Kashaya Kalpana, Churna Kalpana, Vati Kalpana, Guggulu Kalpana, Varti Kalpana, such type of classification is not seen in any of Samhitas. And also we can see that certain metals and minerals have been given due importance in the treatment even in Samhitas. There is a very good example of Manashiladi Dhumam that is explained under Hikka Shwasa Chikitsa Prakaranam of Charaka Samhita, which consists of certain metals and minerals. Gandhaka Prayogam is given in Kushta Chikitsa. Like that, there are different metals and minerals, the scattered reference of which is available in Samhitas. And exclusive use of Rasa Yogas in the form of metals, minerals, in the form of Bhasmas, all started from 8th century after the period of Nagarjuna. And in 30th century, there was a book written by Sharangadara on the Kalpana aspect. And now we are in 21st century, so a lot of books are available on Rasashastra, Kalpana, and various new dosage forms like Malahara and syrups. All these things have been added into the formulary. And as such, there are 57 different books listed out under first schedule of Drug and Cosmetic Act. So this is how history and slowly the formulation and preparation is developed. So how to have a brief insight into the chronological development of Kalpana separately and Rasashastra separately, I have included 2-3 slides here. You can see that as far as the development of Vaishya Kalpana is concerned, in the Vedic period itself, there are few herbs that have been described, like Parasha, Khadira, Durva, and so many. List is too big. And there is a illustration of Soma and Somarasa in what you call the Samhitas, sorry, in the Vedas rather. And the herbal drugs are divided into Vaishajyani and Aishyani. The Vaishajyani are one which help in treating the diseases, and Aishyani are those who help in increase the longevity. And the description of Asava, that is fermented preparations, are given in the name of Asavi. And Aushadha Kalpana and Ahara Kalpana also scattered references are available. For example, Sarasa Kalka, Sura, etc. have been discussed under Aushadha, whereas Odana, that is Anna Kalpana, Takra, Madhu, Dathi, all these things have been given importance as a part of Ahara Kalpana. After the period of Vedas is over, like once the Samhitas period started, we can see that Panchavidha Kashaya Kalpana is vibrantly discussed in Charaka, Ashtanga Hridaya, Ashtanga Sangraha, Sharangadhara Samhita, and so many other books. Panchavidha Kashaya Kalpana have been stressed upon. Whereas Sushruta have given Shadvidha Kashaya Kalpana. Whereas Kashyapa Samhita we get reference of Saptavidha Kashaya Kalpana. Whereas in Arka Prakasha, there is a reference of Panchavidha Kashaya Kalpana, where Arka is one among the Panchavidha Kashaya Kalpanas. Like this, we get different references in Samhita. But a systematic and detailed description of pharmaceutical procedures of preparation of individual Kalpana is exclusively discussed in Sharangadhara Samhita. We know that Sharangadhara Samhita have three khandas: Pratama, that is Purva Khanda, Madhyama Khanda, and like Uttara. In Purva and Madhyama Khanda, there are descriptions available. In Purva Khanda, some basic fundamental principles related with the Aushadhi and Nirmana have been given about Matra, about different Paribhashas, Mana Paribhasha, and Ardra Shushka Dravya Sangraha Niyama. All these things have been discussed in Purva Khanda. Whereas Madhyama Khanda directly starts from description of Panchavidha Kashaya Kalpana and Sarasa Kalpana, Kata Kalpana, Kalka Kalpana, Churna Kalpana. All these things have been given due importance under individual chapters. And 8th century BC, Nagarjuna's period started, where the period of Rasashastra started. And recently, as we have already discussed, the formulations like Malahara and Sharkara Kalpana, all these things are available now. This was about chronological development of Vaishya Kalpana. Now, like looking into the chronological development of Rasashastra, as we have already discussed, in Samhita period itself, there are scattered references about use of individual rasadravyas like Gandaka, Haratala, Manashila. In Sushruta Samhita, under Dhatu, Visham, Phenashmam, and Haratala is mentioned. For Haratala is arsenic, trisulfide, and Phenashma is Gauri Pashanam, that is arsenious oxide. The references of which is available in Charaka, Sushruta, etc. The genuine method of preparation of Ayaskriti is mentioned in Charaka and Sushruta. And a concept of Andamusha, where he says Koshtyantar Matam Churnitabham. The method of converting metals and minerals into powder is given in Ashtanga Hridaya. Maybe a crude method of preparation of Bhasmas is given in Ashtanga Hridaya. Like this, Anjanadiganam, Trapvadiganam, which includes some of the Rasadravyas as ingredient, is given in Sushruta Samhita. Very famous concept of Hridayavarana in Vishachikitsa is given in Charaka and Ashtanga, where he says that a person who has consumed Visha should be given Tamram, which acts as Urdhvada Parishodhanam, takes out the Visha and doshas out from the body through both Oman and Virechana. And then you have to give Shuddhe Hridi Tatashanam Hemachurnam Chadapet Na Sajjate Hemapange Padmapatre Ambodvisham. The Vishahara property of Swarnam is used to protect the heart, because once the Visha enters into the heart, it transfers into Chaturvimshati Dhamani and spreads all over the body very quickly. So the Vishahara property of Swarna was known during the period of Charaka Samhita itself. So in Hridaya Varnam, Swarna was used. Like this, there are like not many informations available in Samhitas about use of mineral drugs into treatment. But however, the classical description of Parada Samskara, classification of drugs into Maharasa, Uparasa, Sadharana Rasa, all this circus is not there. in Samhitas. It all started after the period of Nagarjuna. You can see that there are so many books, important books of Rasashastra, which have been discussed under the chapter called as Rasa Vangmayam. The list is too big. The number of books may be more than 100, but very important books which are currently available have been discussed here. Yogaratnamala and Rasendra Mangala is believed to be written by Nagarjuna in 8th century, considered to be the beginning of the golden period of Rasashastra, where 8th to 13th century is considered as the golden period of Rasashastra by historians, because lot many works have been done and documented during this particular period. You can also see that most of the books like Rasarnam, Rasarudaya Tantram, Rasaratna Samuchaya, Anandakanda, all these things have been written during that period, in between like 8th to 15th century rather. And the books like Ayurveda Prakasha, Rasatarangini, Vaishyaratnavali, Rasa Yoga Sagara have been written like late like after 15th century AD. All these books have been written, but many of these books have contributed a lot to what you call the development of Rasa Shastra. Again, maybe for instance, it is a repetition, but few more books have been included here. For example, you have a reference of Raseshwara Darshanam, written by Sayanacharya, written in 14th century. Rasendra Sara Sangraham, which is written by Krishna Gopala Bhatta in 16th century. And Rasa Hridaya Tantram, which is written by Bhagavad Govinda Bhagavad Pada in 10th century. And Parada Vijnaniyam, which is written by Vasudev Mulshankar Dwivedi in 20th century. All these books have contributed a lot. You should feel proud that Basavarajam is another book, the author of which is believed to be a person from Karnataka, whose name is Basavaraja, who has written a book on Rasa Shastra, which is called as Basavaraji. So these are the few descriptions about Rasa Vangmaya. So we have in brief covered about the chronological development of Rasa Shastra as well as Vaishya Kalpana and description few Rasa Vangmaya. My dear students, please remember that this is a what you call SAQ category of questions can be possible. So there is every possibility that a due importance is given while framing the question paper, that history and chronological development of Rasa Shastra may be a question. History and chronological development of Vaishya Kalpana can be a separate question. Or write in brief about Rasa Vangmaya can be one of the important questions that may be asked in the examinations. So I believe that with this brief description, you have like covered, understood a few important points that you have to give more focus or emphasis while answering these questions. So with this, we have completed one step. Now we will go to the next step of the topic under the same topic, that is history and chronological development of Rasa Shastra and Vaishya Kalpana, that is Ayurvedic pharmaceutics. So there is a description of Rasa Shala, Rasa Mantapa and Beshajagara, which is nice to know category as per the syllabus. So as I have discussed already, it may not be a SAQ question that can be asked under this topic. However, this is one of the important topic to understand, because you have to see that based on the what you call Vastu Shastram, a description of Rasashala Nirmana is given in Rasasratna Samucha as well as Rasa Tarangini. And now we speak a lot about good manufacturing practices. You should understand this is the concept of good manufacturing practices which was vibrant during ancient time in the period of Rasa Shastra and Vaishya Kalpana. And he says what is the ideal place to construct this Rasashala. It is Atyanta Pavaneramye. The Rasashala should be it should be beautiful. It should look attractive. It should have 4 doors. All this description is suvistirna. It should be very wide. All these things have been discussed. You can see that this is called as Karma Vibhagam. Karma Vibhagam, that is based on the Vastu Shastram. The east direction is said to be the direction for Shiva, and Agneyadik, it is the direction of Agni. So all heating procedures have to be done in Agneyam. And Yamyam is considered as the direction of Yama, where Pashana Karma is given. Nirata Rakshasa is Adipati for Nairitya. So Shastra Karma, cutting, chopping, etc. have to be done on Nairityam. and Paschima Dik is the Dik of Varuna Deva. So Adipati for water. So you have to do all washing procedures on that direction. And Vayu is Adipati for Vayuvya. So Shoshana Karma, drying procedures have to be done in that direction. Uttaram is a direction of Kubera, who is Adipati for money. So Veda Karmam, that is transformation of lower metal into higher metals, have to be done in this direction. And Ishanyam is for storing the prepared medicine. So this what you call a scientific description of the distribution of karma vibhagam is there in this description, and you can see that there is a description rasamantapa, where you have to place different drugs like parada, vajra, tankana, bhunaga, haratala, kasisa, vimala, swarnamakshika. All these drugs have to be kept in different directions as per the description of Vastu Shastra. So all these look to be more scientific descriptions that are available in our ancient literatures. And base jagara description is there, where you have to store the raw drugs and prepared medicines. So you can see that as per Sushruta Sutra 36th chapter, there is a detailed description of base jagar. And of course Charaka and Sushruta have given description of base jagar. As I already told, this is a nice to know topic. We will not go into much details of this particular topic. And definition of rasa rasayanam and difference between rasa and rasayana is a desirable to know topic as per the syllabus. So definitely a student can expect a question on this. Define rasa and rasayana according to Rasashastra, and difference between rasa and rasayana. Of course, this description that is given is very general. Rasa is rasanat sarvadhatunam rasa ityavidiyat, that is parada. The description of parada is given in rasa, and rasayanam is a chikitsa anga given in Ayurveda, which is considered to be a preventive type of medicine which enhances our immunity and bala. Yat jara vyadinashanam tat rasayanam, or swastasya urjaskaram yat tat prishyam tat rasayanam, as per Charaka's description. So rasayana is one which acts as a preventive medicine, and rasa is the description related with parada. And this particular concept is given only with the reason that parada can be used as one of the very good rasayanas. That is why this particular concept of rasa rasayana is given under Rasa Shastra. Rasa is a shadrasopeta metal which is liquid at room temperature, and it possesses lot of qualities. That is why it has been given that Jararuk Mrutyunashaya. It is useful in treatment of old age. It is useful in treatment of Roga, that is Ruk, and Mrutyu. It gets rid of the Mrutyu Bhaya. That is why it is considered as one of the potent rasayana. So parada can be used as one of the potent rasayana. That is why concept of rasa and rasayana is advocated in Rasa Shastra. And there is very, very important concept of Raseshwara Darshanam, because there are two important vadas in Rasa Shastra. They are called as Dhatuvada and Dehavada. All of you probably are aware that Dhatuvada is a concept that is given for conversion of lower metals into higher metals, and Dehavada is a concept that is given that is related with the maintaining the body fit and strong till the death, or to prolong the death, or to become Ajara and Amara. And in case the person is getting deceased, then it is evident that the moksha prapti is delayed. So for getting moksham, he says arogyam moolam uttamam. Arogya is one of the important contributing factor to attain moksha. And as per the theory and principles of Indian belief, the Purushartha Chatushtayam, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha are the four important Chatushtayas of life, where moksha is the ultimate goal or aim of one's life. Whereas Raseshwara Darshanam, he says that Nacha Rasashastram Kevalam Dhatuvadarthameva iti mantavyam. He says that Rasashastra is not only for transformation of a lower metal into higher metal, it is also for attainment of Dehaveda, where the body will not get diseased, because undeceased body is the attainment of salvation, the ultimate aim of life is possible. That is why the concept of Raseshwara Darshana is also have been given much emphasis and importance as per Rasa Shastra. And all of you are aware about this. This is one of very important Viva question for the students of Rasa Shastra. So usually in Viva, this question will be asked: what is the importance of Rasashastra, or what is the significance of Rasashastra? My dear students, you have three different shlokas given here. You probably are aware of these shlokas. This one shloka is from Rasendra Sarasangraha, where he says Rasavidya is best. The person who treats with Mulika is Madhyama, and the one who does Shastra Karma is Adama. And the second shloka from Rasaratna Samachaya says that the Rasayushadhis are better in treatment of diseases because they can give quick results with very less dosage. And because of very less dosage, there is no problem of aruchi. So that is why Aushadebhyo Adhiko Rasa. The Rasaushadhis are more superior than Aushadhi. And in Vaishya Ratnavali, he says that Rasaushadhis are superior because all other concepts of Ayurveda gives much importance to Roga, Dosha, Dushya, Prakriti, Desha, Kala. All these things are given due importance while giving treatment. And Vaishya Ratnavali says that there is no much emphasis that is needed to be given to these factors because rasa works much quicker in the disease condition. So there is no need of giving due importance to all these points. All that is why rasaushadhis are more superior considered to other what you call mulika or shastra karma and other. So with this, we have like briefly, very briefly completed the first point of our syllabus. That is first topic of today's discussion. That is a chronological development, history and chronological development of Ayurvedic pharmaceutics. My dear students, we have enlisted a few questions, very few questions. Such many questions are possible. So you can see that describe contribution of Nagarjuna to Ayurvedic pharmaceutics can be another question. Contribution of Rasaratna Samuchaya can be a question. Contribution of Rasatarangini can be a question. Contribution of Sharangadhara Samhita can be a question. Write a note on important books related with Rasashastra. Write about recent developments in Ayurvedic pharmaceutics. Write about knowledge of metals and minerals in Samhita period. Discuss about chronological development of Rasashastra or Vaishya Kalpana or club together, that is Ayurveda pharmaceutics. Such many questions can be framed, which are of short answer type, which can be given weightage of 5 marks. Such questions are possible from topic 1. Now we are entering into one of the most important topic of Rasashastra, that is Paribhasha Prakarana. And very interesting to note that with this what you call this particular syllabus from this particular batch, which follows CBDC, competency based dynamic curriculum. So many important points related with the Parada, like Parada Ashta Samskara, Parada Jarana, Parada Murchana, Parada Vandana, and the concept of Rasadravya Vargikaranam, and concept of controversial drugs of Rasashastra, Pratinidhi Dravyas. All these things have been Mahana Paribhasha. All these things have been brought under the like heading called as Paribhasha with this new syllabus on CBDC. You can see that most of the topics are must to know topics here. So must to know and desirable to know topics. Definition and importance of Paribhasha, word derivation and Aushadha, Beshaja, Samskara, Kalpana, all these things. So Rasadravya Vargikarana, Rasa, Maharasa, etc. Sandigdha Dravya, Anupalabdha Dravya, Kritrima Dravya, and Pratinidhi Dravya. All these things have been categorized under Paribhasha. And there is another important heading, that is Prakriya Paribhasha, where the Shodhana, Marana, Amritikarana, Sattva, Sattvapatana, Dhruti, all these things have been discussed under this particular heading called as Prakriya Paribhasha. And one more topic under Prakriya Paribhasha, you have Parada Samskaras and Jarana and Murchana. Whereas only Bandhana title is nice to know. And Puraka Paribhasha, that is Rudra Bhagam and Dhanvantari Bhagam given under this title is nice to know. All others are either must to know and desirable to know. And again, I would like to what you call repeat Punarukti that the MCQ questions can be possible even from nice to know category, whereas short essay questions, short answer questions of 5 marks are possible from only must to know and desirable to know. So we are just going to discuss these points in like very short period. My dear students, please remember that this topic is of almost 15 hours are allotted for this particular topic, and Similar number of non-lecture hours also have been allotted as per the syllabus. We are trying to like cover key points and just highlight important points as per the what you call the time available. And Paribhasha, like there are so many descriptions and definitions that are available, and I suggest all of you that you please by heart any one shloka, either from Vaidyaka Paribhasha Prakaranam or Rasatarangini, or any shloka, any one of this shloka is a by heartable shloka. Nigodanuktaleshokta Sandigdhartha Pradipika, or either this shloka or Avyaktanuktaleshokta Sandigdhartha Prakashika, any one of this, please by heart this, because the most of the definitions given under Paribhasha are by heartable. So if a question is a short answer question for 5 marks, most of the times the question will start from define Paribhasha and explain importance of Paribhasha, can be a 5-mark question where you are supposed to write the definition of Paribhasha and then write the importance of Paribhasha, where Paribhasha is useful in Aushadha Nirmana. So that is why the definition, either any one of the definition as shown earlier, has to be by hearted. And importance of Paribhasha is given, like in the darkness, when even a short light with very small light also shows us a way to move. In the similar way, Paribhasha is helpful in showing us the way towards medicine manufacturing, as given in Rasatarangi. And under Paribhasha, we are going to discuss certain terminologies. Here, you have very important definition given from Kashyapa Kilastana. He discusses two words, Aushadhi and Bheshaja. Aushadha and Bheshaja. So this is one of the what you call short answer question, 5 marks question that can be possible. Explain the difference between Aushadha and Bheshaja according to Kashyapa, or define Aushadha and Bheshaja as per Kashyapa, can be one of the possible question. So the definition is given here from Kashyapa Kilastana, 3rd chapter, 27th and 28th shloka. Please make a note of this reference and you can refer to this later. Because of time constraint, we will not going to discuss individual words here. The description is given below, that which helps in preventive, particularly to prevent the production of diseases, is considered as Aushadha. Arogyam adhatte, that which prevents the production of the diseases. And Bishakjite, that which helps to overcome the threat of the disease. The roga is called as Bisham. Bisham Roga Bhayam. So Bheshajam is Roga Bhayam Jayati. So that which helps in the treatment is called as Bheshaja. So please make a note of this reference from Kashyapa Kilastana, 3rd chapter, 27th and 28th sloka, and please have more insight into this particular topic. And next word is Kalpana. Under Paribhasha, we have discussed the Paribhasha of Aushadha and Bheshaja as per Kashyapa. Now we are moving to the next particular definition of Kalpana. Various definitions are there. The definition from Shabda Kalpadruma, definition from Chakrapani, definition from Arunadatta, all these definitions are there. Again, I suggest that any one definition can be by hearted. Kalpanam yojanamityarthaha can be one of the definition that you by heart, or Kalpyate vidhiyate asau vidhi as per Shakta Kalpadruma, Prakalpanam samskaranam iti as per Chakrapani. Any one of this definition has to be by hearted. Kalpana, he says that Kalpana is a planning. How to prepare a medicine, you should have a plan from beginning, from collection of raw drugs, drying of raw drugs, pounding of raw drugs, preparation of medicine, packing in a right container, dispensing in a right dosage with the right duration. Everything comes under Kalpana. Definition of Kashaya. Kashaya Kalpana. So definition of Kashaya is next terminology that is discussed under Paribhasha. As per Kashyapa, the one which leads to Kantasya Karshana and Roga Karshana. The one which does Kanta Karshana as well as Loga Karshana. This is called as Kashaya. Next point is Panchavida Kashaya Kalpana, Shadvida Kashaya Kalpana, Saptavida Kashaya Kalpana, according to various authors. We have already discussed that Swarasa Kalka, Kvata, Hima, Fanta. And he says Panchadaiva Kashayanam Purvam Puram Baladika. The last line of last shloka given as per Ashtanga Hridayam, he says even Ashtanga Sangraha Kalpasthanam ye yatha purvam balinaha has been given. That means Swarasa is most guru, Fanta is least guru, or opposite. Fanta is least highest lagu and Swarasa is least lag. So Panchada Kashaya Kalpana, Swarasa Kalka, Kvata, Hima, Fanta. All these three shlokas have given the same. And Sharangadara also give the same. And Arka Prakasha, there are Panchada Kashaya Kalpanas that are given. You can just see that Kalkaha, Churnam, Rasam, Tailam, Arkam. And he says Yathottara Gunam. Arka is most best preparation as per Arka Prakasha. So Kalka, Churna, Swarasa, Taila, and Arka are the Panchavida Kashaya Kalpana according to Arka Prakasha. And Sushruta have advised Shadvida Kashaya Kalpana. He adds, you can just see, Kshiram is the first word that is given. So Kshira Kalpana is added in the beginning, and Swarasa, Kalka, Kvata, Hima, Fanta is there as per Panchavida Kashaya Kalpana. And Kashyapa Samhita, he adds one more, that is Abhishavam, that is fermented preparations under Saptavida Kashaya Kalpana. So this is the description of various Kashaya Kalpana. Panchavida Kashaya Kalpana according to Charaka, Ashtanga Sangraha, Ashtanga Hridaya and Sharangadara are same. Shadvida Kashaya Kalpana given in Sushruta is something different. Saptavida Kashaya Kalpana given in Kashyapa is something different. And Panchavida Kashaya Kalpana according to Arka Prakasha is different. This has to be given due consideration. And this is one of the important topics, the Kashaya Yoni. This is usually a question in the examination for 5 marks because it is given that Lavana Varjita, the Panchakashaya Yoni, Madura, Kashaya, Amla, Katu, Tikta, Madura, Amla, Katu, Tikta Kashaya. Lavana is not there. So Lavana Varjita Pancharasam is one of the important Lavana Varjita Kashaya Yoni. Pancharasam is something different. That is for Haritaki. So Lavana Varjita Pancharasam is mentioned for Lavana Varjita Pancha Kashaya Yoni is mentioned under Kashaya Yoni. So there are certain descriptions why Kashaya Lavana is not mentioned as a Kashaya Yoni is there in the description given below, because Lavana readily dissolves in any media. We use different medias for extraction of active principles from the drug. If you use water, it becomes either Hima, Fanta or Kvata. If you use Taila, it becomes Taila or Grita. If you use alcohol, then it becomes Sandhana. But Lavana gets readily dissolved in any media that is used. That is why probably Lavana Rasam is not a Kashaya Yoni. But we use Saindava Lavana and different Lavanas in various formulations. So Kashaya Yoni is one of the important topics. Enumerate Kashaya Yoni. Discuss why Lavana is not one among the Kashaya Yonis. Can be one of the 5 marks questions. Next important definition under terminologies is Samskara. And we know that there are a lot of descriptions that are available for individual Samskara. Samskaro hinama gunantaradana muchyate. Okay. And Toya Agni Sannikarsha, Shaucha, Manthana, Desha, Kala, Vasana, Bhavanadibihi, Kala Prakarsha Bhajanadibischa Abhidiyante. According to Charaka Vimanasthana, first chapter, all these things have been discussed under Charaka Vimanasthana. So I suggest you to kindly make a note of this particular reference, as this is one of the important reference. And I have given enlisted certain procedures under each Sannigarsha, each Samskara that is advised by Charaka. For example, Toya Sannigarsham is for like keeping drug and water, either keeping the drug dipped or washing the drug. For example, you have Himakalpana. For example, you have Dhanya Kahima, which is kept overnight in water and then it is macerated and filtered. It is one of the best example for Toya Sannigarsha. And next is Agni Kannigarsha. You have frying of Gairika with Gritam, Tankana Shodhanam, Hingu with Grita Varjana, or boiling any drug. So the Kvata Kalpana becomes Toyagni Sannigarsham, where you add Toya and then boil. That is why it becomes example for Toyagni Sannigarsham. Shaucham means cleansing, removing of physical impurities from the drug. For example, Shilajit Shodhana. Mantana is to churn. So you churn the dadhi to prepare takra, that is takra kalpana. Or you have a Karjuradi manta that is mentioned under Madhayatya Chikitsa. That can be another example. Desha, Anupadesha, Jangal Desha. Jangal Desha is Vatabhuishtam, Anupa is Kafurgunam. So Desha has due importance as far as Samskara is concerned. Kalam. And the best example is you keep the banana and keep it for ripening. Wait till it becomes ripe to eat it. Or you take mango, collect the mango and keep it for ripening. That is the best example for Kala. And we have Sandhana Kalpanas that's discussed in our Samhitas, which are best example for Kala Samskara. Vasana is giving some good smell, coloring, flavoring agents that are added. So we have most of the Prakshepaka Dravyas that are given for what you call our Avaleha Kalpana, or certain Prakshepaka Dravyas that are advocated along with the Kashaya. For example, you have example of Drakshadi Kashayam, which is advised to be taken Jati Kusuma Vasite. It is said that Draksha Dikashaya should be taken along with the Jati Kusuma. So it is another example for Vasana. Bhavana, we have lot of procedures that are like done, lot of preparations that are done by using Bhavana. And in Rasashastra, Bhavana has got utmost importance during Shodhana or for preparation of Karli Rasayana and etc. Kala Prakarsham, duration. That is, I just told the example of ripening of fruits, Kadali Palam or Amra Palam. Bhajana, that is a container, suitable container have to be used for preparation of or storage of medicines. For example, you have Grita in Kamsapatram is contraindicated because it becomes Viruddham. So there plays importance role of Bhajana. So this is about important terminologies that are discussed. So on any, there may be a question. Define samskara. Explain samskara with the suitable examples. Can be one of SAQ, short answer question. Or explain, enumerate Panchavidha Kashaya Kalpana according to different authors. Can be another question where you have to write Panchavidha Kashaya Kalpana according to Charaka, Sushruta, Ashtanga, Kashyapa, all these things. Next is Dravya Varga Paribhasha. Next particular topic under Paribhasha is Dravya Varga Paribhasha. And as per the what you call specific learning objectives that have been given in this particular syllabus point, recite the shlokas of Maharasa, Uparasa, Sadharana Rasa from Rasaratna Samachaya. Very specifically it is given. So I suggest all of you, please go through this what you call questions, sorry, the shlokas rather, from Rasaratna Samachaya, second chapter, third chapter, fifth chapter, and fourth chapter you have what you call Ratna Varga. Fifth chapter you have Dhat Varga. Second chapter you have Maharasa Varga. Third chapter you have Uparasa and Sadharana Rasa Varga. So all these things, slokas are available. You please try to by heart these slokas. Next, you have the reference of Upadhatus from Ayurveda Prakasha or Sharangadara. Any one of this can be recited and by hearted. And as just told, Rasaratna Samachaya, fourth chapter, you have Ratnavarga. And Uparatna Varga given in Rasatarangini, 23rd chapter, Vaikranta Suryakantascha, Chandrakanto Nrupopalaha, Perojakancha Spatikam. 6 drugs under Kshudra Ratna Gana has been given in Rasatarangini. So I suggest all of you to just make note of this, what you call references, and go through this later. Rasaratnasam, second chapter you have reference of Maharasa. Third chapter beginning you have reference of Uparasa. Third chapter 120th shloka you have reference of Sadharana Rasa. Fifth chapter first you have reference of Dhatu Vargam. And Ayurveda Prakasha or Sharangadara you can refer to Upadhatu Vargam. And fourth chapter beginning you have Rasaratna Samachaya, fourth chapter beginning you have the Ratnavargam, and Rasatarang in 23rd chapter you have reference of Uparat. And Shukla Vargam is given in Rasarnama, where only few drugs have been incorporated, like Sudha Vargam. Sorry, Sudha, Kurma, Shanka, Shukti, Varatika. 5 drugs are there. Sudha, Kurma, that is Kurma Prishtam, Shanka, Shukti, Varatika. 5 drugs are given under Shukla Varga as per Rasarnam. Whereas now under syllabus you have so many other drugs that are included like Kukkutanda Twak, Samudra Fenam, Godanti. All these things have been included under Dravya Varga as per the syllabus. But as per the reference, as per Paribhasha reference, available references from Rasarnam and Rasaratnakara. Sikata Vargam, of course, you don't get any classical references because it has been categorized as a Varga recently by recent authors who have written books on Rasashastra and Vaishya Kalpana. This particular classification is not seen earlier. Sikata Vargam is a coined terminology for the drugs which are having silica, content of silica. You can see that Sikata contains SiO2, Dugdha Bhashana SiO3, Kaushayashma Si2O5. Like this, you have different silica content present in these drugs, and reference is there in Rasamritam written by Y.T. Acharya, Honorable Yadavjit Vikramji Acharya. And under Dravya Varga Paribhasha, even the Visha and Upavishas are also included. You get direct reference of Visha and Upavisha from Rasatarangini 24th chapter. In the beginning of 24th chapter, he explains Mahavishas, and lot of description is given about Vatsanabha and the preparations that can be prepared from Vatsanabha, including Vatsanabha Shodhana. And later in the 24th chapter, he gives 11 drugs under Upavisha, Vishadinduka Bija, Hifena, and other drugs that are given under Upavisha. So this is about Dravya Varga Paribhasha. Maharasa, Uparasa, Sadharanarasa, Ratna, Dhatu, Upadhatu, Uparatna, Visha, Upavisha. So, as per the what you call learning objectives of this particular topic given in the syllabus, you are supposed to by heart these slokas. And in case if you find it very difficult to by heart the shloka, try to enlist this drugs in the sequence. Like Maharasa, you should tell Abra, Vaikranta, Makshika, Vimala, Shilajatu, Sasyaka, Chapala, Rasak. So in the sequence, you should be able to tell the name of the drugs included under that Gana. So please make note of this particular point that if it is possible to by heart, it is very fine. If it is not possible to by heart, please enlist the drugs in the same sequence. Do not change the sequence. If you change the sequence, then definitely, I am speaking in exam point of view, definitely you are going to lose the marks. Next important definition as per Paribhasha is Kajjal. धातुभिर्गन्धकाद्येश निर्द्रवैर्मर्दितो रसः शुश्लक्ष्णकज्जलावासो कज्जलित्यपि दीयते. Shloka from Rasaratna Samuchaya. 2-line shloka, easy to by heart. Please by heart. Next shloka is given from Rasatarangini. So it is also very good shloka, but it probably may be difficult to by heart because it is 6-line shloka. So I suggest that you by heart 2-line shloka. And Dravakaganam and Mitra Panchagam, Rasatarangini 2nd chapter 35 shloka you have Dravakagana, 37 and 38 shloka you have Mitra Panchagam. Mitra Panchagam contains 5 drugs, whereas Dravakagana contains 6 drugs. You should see that there is only one addition that is given in what you call Dravakagana of Rasatarangini. He adds Gudam. He adds Gudam to Mitra Panchaka to make it Dravakagana. So please refer to these shlokas later. Rasatarangini, 2nd chapter, 35th shloka, 37 and 38 shloka. So this is about important terminologies like Kajjali, Mitra Panchaka, Dravakagana. Okay. Next we have few topics that are given: Sandigdha Dravyam, Anupalabdhi Dravyam, Pratinidhi Dravyam, and Kritrima Dravyam. 4 topics are there under this particular heading, and controversial drugs are discussed under Sandigdha Dravyam. And controversy may be for different reasons. Controversy may be because of non-availability in particular area, lack of research works done on and misinterpretation of classical references that have been given. lack of popularity and practice, gap of knowledge between past and present. Anything can be the reason for controversy, but definitely we should agree that controversy on these drugs like Vaikaranta, Chapala, Rasanjana, Pushpanjana, Agnijaram, Girisinduram, and Kankushtam, they are prevailing even now. In spite of a lot of research works that have been done, the controversy on these drugs still persists. So that also can be one of a short answer questions, my dear students. Please write about please anta kelala question paper alli they will not ask please, but they will write about controversy of Vaikranta. Write about controversy of Chapala, write about controversy of Rasanjana, can be a 5-mark questions. So these are few important points that have been given under controversy of Vaikranta because of the hardness that have been advised for Vaikranta. They say that Vaikranta is available in the region of Vindhya Parvata, and it is said that it is so strong, hard enough that it can produce what you call cuts on other dhatus. So it is very hard. So and it is also included under Uparatna group. So and it is considered as Vajrasthane Niyoktavyo Vaikranta Sarvadoshaha. It is a substitute for Vajra. So we are going to discuss about this again under a substitute drugs. Vajrasthane Niyoktavyo Vaikranta Sarvadoshaha. So because of all these reasons, the scholars consider that Vaikranta as black oxide of manganese. A famous scholar of Rasashastra called as Vamana Desai have considered as black oxide of manganese. Yadavji Trikramji Acharya considered it as manganese when it is considered under Uparasa, and tourmaline or fluorspar when it is included under Uparatna. Dattatreya Ananta Kulakarani, a famous commentator on Rasaratna Samuchaya, have considered it as fluorspar, and some group of scholars consider it as Patika. So we have 4 different drugs which are considered as Vaikranta: tourmaline, fluorspar, manganese, and quartz. So this is a controversy. This is a controversy about Vaikranta: fluorspar, tourmaline, manganese, and quartz. You can see the pictures here. So this is about controversy of Vaikranta. And controversy of Chapala, there are what you call Grahya Lakshanas that have been given by Rasaratna Samuchaya. He says Vangavadravate Vannau. That means the Chapala has low melting point and it has got 4 colors: Gaura, Shweta, Aruna, and Krishna. And he says Spatika Chaya. That means crystal clear, and it has 6 what you call edges. All these things makes the identity of Chapala more what you call difficult. That is why different authors have different opinion, but 2 opinions persist now. That the opinion of Vaman Ganesh Desai and Dattatreya Ananta Kulkarni, they believe that it is bismuth because of the features like melts like Vanga and have Shadasra. Whereas Narendranath Mitra, when commenting upon Rasatarangini, considered as Chapala as selenium. And you have an exclusive chapter in Rasatarangini which gives a detailed description on Chapala Vinishchayam, where Rasamritam Vaitya Acharya supports this. So there are 2 different research works done. You can see the details of this publication also. One research work believes that it is Chapala, sorry, it is bismuth, and the other research work considered as selenium. They have their own what you call the clarification points given under this what you call publication. And please see that the first article is published in 2020 and second article is published in 2023. That means the controversy on Chapala still persists. Rasanjanam is also one of the important drugs mentioned under Anjana, group of Anjana. There are 5 Anjanas given. Under group of 5 Anjanas, one is Rasanjanam. And Srave Saptaratresmin Saptaratresmin Sravanartham Rasanjanam given in Ashtanga. Hridayam you have to apply once in a week for Sravana of the kapha that is accumulated, which can produce threat to your Alochaka Pitta, which is there in Chakshu, the Pitta that is there in Chakshu. Dattatreya Ananta Kulkarni, commentator of Rasaratna Samuchaya, believes that it is a thing that is related with the Parada because it has synonyms like Rasagarbha, Rasagraja, Rasodbhava, Agnisara, etc. So he believes it as yellow oxide of mercury. And that Professor Vaman Ganesh Desai in his book Rasashastra, Ayurveda Rasashastra, considered it as a yellow oxide of mercury. Whereas Dallana have two drugs, that is, one is Rotonjanam, that is a blackish stone like mineral, and second artificially made Daruharidra Rasakriya. So at present, Rasanjana is considered as Rasakriya of Daruharidra. That is, which is again considered as a type of Katha, Rasakriya. So similar way, there is controversy about Pushpanjanam. One group believes it is zinc oxide, ZnO, and another considered as antimony oxide. So two drugs are considered as Pushpanjanam. So these are the different opinions given in different books, and all books consider it as what you call Netriya property of Anjana is considered while deciding the identity of this Pushpanjana. Next controversial drug is Agnijaram. Different opinions are there about Agnijara. It is a Kshara Vishesha according to Ayurveda Prakasha, which is used in Parada Bandhana, and it is included under Sadharana Rasa by Rasaratna Samuchaya, and it is mentioned as an alay for preparation of Abrakadruti, and in Rasarnama it is mentioned for first time, and it is one of the drug mentioned for Dhanurvata. Rather than considered as a controversial drug, it is ideal to consider as endangered species and a drug that has to be protected under Wildlife Protection Act. Girisindura also have two opinions. Girisindura, as per the classical opinion, it should be montrhodite, that is mercuric oxide, yellow oxide of mercury. Sorry, oxide of mercury, that is montrhodite. And recent years, after the period of Rasa Tarangini, due to non-availability of HGO, mercuric oxide, Nagasindura, that is used as in the place of Girisindura. And synonyms you can see Sindura, Mahila Balabhushan, Shringar Bhushan. That usually the ladies use it as what you call Sinduram. The married women apply Sinduram on their forehead. That is why it is called as Mahila Balabhushan. And now Nagasinduram used as Girisinduram. That controversy is there. Kankushta is a controversial drug because in Rasaratna Samuchaya, while discussing about Kankushta, there are different references that are given in Rasaratna Samuchaya itself. He says that it is fecal matter of newborn elephant. In second line, he says umbilical cord of newborn horse, and he says it is the Mriddara Sringam. Dallana considers Kanchanakshira Niryasa, and now books of Rasashastra gives it as Mysore Gambas tree. And Rasaratna Samuchaya, he says that Himotpada Shikare Kankushtam Upajayate, and it is highly Rechana. Considering all these factors, Kankushta becomes controversial. And two opinions, one considered as ore of tin, that is cassiterite, and another considered as Kanchanakshira Niryasa. Two opinions are there now related to the Kankushta. These are the controversial drugs. So every drug there is a possibility of a question. Short answer question: controversy of Kankushta, controversy of Girisindura, controversy of what is Agnijara. Everything can be a question. So have a what you call idea how to solve this controversy. And two drugs which are not available nowadays, that is Rasaka and Karpara and Saviranjanam. Okay, so Rasaka and Karpara and Saviranjanam are two Anupalabdha dravyas that are given in your syllabus. Rasaka actually is either zinc carbonate, zinc oxide, or zinc blend. There are Mritikaba, Gudaba, and Pashanaba variety of Rasaka that are given under Maharasa Varga, but it is not available now. Saviranjana is mentioned under Dinacharya Adhyaya. Under 5 types of Anjana, this is one of the Anjanas, very important Anjana. It is said to be called as Saviranjana because it is available in the banks of Savira river, which is available in Sindh province. And it is considered as stibnite, but unfortunately that is not available now. And these drugs, even though naturally available, Sasyaka can be naturally available, Gandhaka can be naturally available, Kasisa can be naturally available, but they are artificially prepared. They are also artificially prepared. So you can see that Bornite is a type of what you call tutta, which is considered as Amrita Sangha. Cu5FeS4 is probable chemical composition of this drug, which is considered as swabhavikam. And kritrimam, this is copper sulfate, CuSO4 7H2O can be considered as a kritrimam. Gandhaka, again, abundant Gandhaka is available. It is one of the 13th most abundant element in earth crust, and in India also there is available of sulfur. But most of the industries, when they like process some or other thing, you see that sulfur is a primary source recovered during oil and gas production. In refineries, when oil and gas is produced, sulfur is one of the byproduct. That is why sulfur can be artificially prepared. Kasisam, again, kasisa is abundantly available naturally in earth crust, but when sulfuric acid is reacted with iron, artificially kasisa, that is FeSO4, can be prepared. Rasanjanam, as we have discussed under controversial drug of Rasashastra, Vaiti Acharya and Vaman Desai consider it as yellow oxide of mercury, whereas other group of people consider it as Daru Haridra Rasakriya. So if it is Daru Haridra Rasakriya, then definitely it is an artificial drug. It is not naturally available. You have to prepare it. You have to prepare it. Now, Hingula, though Hingula is not abundantly available in India, but it is one of the natural, what you call, source of mercury. So you can get mercury from Hingula. Hingula is one of the important source for mercury because it contains 86% of mercury and only 14% of sulfur is there. And like USA, Canada, and other countries, cinnabar is available. And from cinnabar you can extract mercury because native mercury, availability of native mercury as such directly is very rare. It will be always be combined with the either chlorine or with the sulfur or with oxygen. So you can extract mercury, but synthetic mercury can be prepared in the lab by mixing what you call mercuric salts with hydrogen sulfide. So cinnabar will be precipitated. So artificially we can prepare hingula. So these are the artificial drugs of Rasashastra. Next is substitutes. Vaikranta and Swarnamakshika are the two important substitutes that are believed to be used because there are references. He in Rasaratna Samacha he says Vajrasthane Niyoktavyo Vaikranta Sarvadoshaha. Vaikranta is considered as a substitute for Vajra, whereas Swarnamakshika is considered as a substitute for gold, Swarnam. It is called fool's gold because of the bright yellow color like gold. And in Vaishya Ratnavali and Yoga Ratnakara, you have references where Swarnamakshika is considered as a substitute for Swarnam. So these are about drugs, classification of drugs. We have discussed Sandigdha drug, substitutes, or artificially preparable drugs, controversial drugs. All these things have been discussed again in very brief manner. And now we have again important topic under Paribhasha is Prakriya Paribhasha. And these are the topics which will be discussed under Prakriya Paribhasha. I suggest all of you, please try to by heart the definition of Shodhana. And Shodhana is another important topic given under Paribhasha. And there it is one of the must to know topic. Definition of Paribhasha, definition of Shodhana and types of Shodhana and various procedures of Shodhana done in Rasashastra is one of the topic that is given. So this is one of the important definition given in Rasatarangini, a shloka that must be by hearted. Uddishtairaushadai sardam kriyate peshanadikam malavichittayettu shodhanam tadihochit. So this is importance of marana because importance of shodhana because it helps to reduce the toxic elements present in the drug. It helps for better absorption of the drug and it helps in better efficacy and safety of the drugs. And there are two types of shodhana, that is samanya shodhana and vishesha shodhana, and these are the different methods that are done. Swedana, Mardana, Dhalana, Nirvapa, Nirjalikarana, Nimajjana, Bhavana, Bhajana, and Avapa are the different procedures that are done. For example, Swedana, the definition that is given, the types, methods of Shodhana that is given in two shlokas. First shloka is related with the Shodhana of Kaparda. Second shloka is related with the Haratala Shodhana. So both are done in first variety, that is Kaparda. Shodhana is done in any Amla Dravya. The second Kushmanda Swarasa Shodhana for Haratala. Mardana, you can do Parada Shodhana with the Sudha Churnam for 3 days, then with Lashuna and Saindavalvana till it becomes black, then wash it, remove the black colored Lashuna Kalka, and you'll get Parada. This is Mardana procedure. So, Mardana means grinding. Dhalana means liquefying a material and pouring into a liquid. I suggest you to suggest you to by heart any one of the shloka from Rasaratna Samachaya or Rasatarangini, which says that pouring a liquefied material into liquid. You probably all of you have done Gandhaka Shodhana using Kshira. Nirvapam, any definition of Rasaratna Samachaya and Rasatarangini is a by heartable shloka, which says that Nirvapa is a procedure where a metal or mineral is made red hot and dipped into a liquid. All of you have probably done Swarnamakshika Shodhanam in Trifulakvata or Abraka Shodhana in Trifulakvata. Nirjalikarana is a procedure that is evaporation of water. We do two Shodhanas by this procedure. One is a Tankana Shodhanam by doing Nirjalikaranam. Another is Kankshi Shodhanam by doing Nirjalikaranam. Nimajjanam, that is keeping the substance dipped in something, is called as Nimajjanam. Gomutra Sthapana and Saura Vishoshanam is one of the Shodhana done for Vatsanabha, which is one among the Vishadravyas. That is one of the example for Nimajjana. I suggest you to by heart this shloka from Rasa Tarangini. Yachurnita Siddhatvade Dravai Sampesha Shoshanam Bhavanam Tanmatam Vijnay Bhavana Achanigatyate. Bhavana is a process of grinding the powdered substances with specific liquid, and the addition of liquid quantity is specified in Vaishij Ratnavali. Dravena Yavata Dravyam Churnitam to Ardratam Rajet Tavaneva Dravodeya. The Shodhana of Hingula and Shodhana of Sasyaka in what you call Nimbu Swarasa, Shodhana of Hingula in Ardraka Swarasa, etc., can be considered as definition as examples for Bhavana. Bharjana, process of frying. So we have Gairika Shodhana during Grita Bharjana or Hingu Shodhana by doing Grita Bharjana. Avapam, I suggest you to by heart this shloka from Rasaratna Samachaya, is usually done in Jarana of Putiloha. We have procedure of Achadanam of liquefied Naga or Vanga by some Kshariya Dravyas. This is an example for Avapa. So next important definition is Marana. I suggest all of you to please by heart this particular shloka. Shodhitan lohadatva deen vimardhya swarasadivihi agni sanyogato bhasmikaranam maranam smrita. And importance of Marana. Define Marana. Write the types of Marana and importance of Marana can be one of the questions. Marana can be of any type. Usually Marana is done with Agnipaka, but Marana can also be done with Bhanupaka, because there are three Trivida Paka mentioned for Loha: Talipakam, Bhanupakam, and Putapakam. So it is a sequence mentioned under Trivida Lohapaka. That is why probably Bhanupaka is given as a classification under Marana. And in Agnipaka, you have two different references. One is you giving Putapaka, another is Kupivakam. So you have a reference of Rasaka Maranam using Valuka Yantram by using Kupivakam method. So that particular reference suffices classification of Agnipaka under Putapaka and Kupipaka. You have two important words, Swangashitam and Bahishitam. This sloka is not a by-heartable sloka, but you should definitely understand the meaning of Swangashitam and Bahishitam. Swangashitam means self-cooling. The mosha is allowed to cool in its own place without dragging out from the fireplace, whereas Bahishita is you drag it out from the fireplace and then allow it to cool in open atmosphere. So Swangashita and Bahishita. Amritikarana is one of the important definition that has to be by hearted. Rasatarangini, second chapter, you have this reference. Lohadina mritanam vai shishta dosha apanuttaye kriyate yattu samskara we have given an example of Abraka Bhasma Amritikaranam as per the reference of Rasaratna Samachaya, where he says Abraka Bhasma 10 parts should be boiled with 16 parts of Triphala Path and 8 parts of Gobrita. Next is Lohitikaranam, is a process of giving color to the metal. So is seen under the context of Abraka Bhasma. Lohitikaranam is a concept given under the Abraka Marana, where Abraka Bhasma, the natural color of Abraka Bhasma is believed to be Gairik Ishtika Varnam. Abraka is Ishtika Churna Sankasha is the color of Abraka Bhasma. So at the end of the procedure, Lohitikarana is done with the drugs like Gangeruki, Badramushta, Vatakshira, Haridra, Manjishta, etc. And Gajaputta is given. It gives very bright red color to the Bhasma. So this is one of the important definition given under Paribhasha. Sattva-patana is a biheartable shloka from Rasaratnamcha which says what is a sattva and the process of sattva-patana. And Bijavarta and Shuddhavarta, you have to understand this. Maybe the shloka, by hearting this shloka may not be important one here, where Bijavarta and Shuddhavarta are the two what you call definitions which you should understand and should be able to tell in English. Where you are attempting a process of Sattva-patana, when the drug starts melting, then the color of flame will be similar to that of the color of the drug, which is considered as Bijavartam. And after melting of this particular drug, the sattva will start extracted from the drug. So that at that particular point, the color of flame will be bright white, Shuklothanam. That is why it is called a Shuddhavartam, which decides or denotes the point of Sattva-patana. Dhruti is a important definition that has to be by-hearted as per the reference given in Rasaratna Samachaya, 8th chapter, 84th shloka. And 83rd shloka, he gives the 5 features of Dhruti. Panchada Dhruti. Nirlepatvam, Dhrutatvam, Taijastvam, Laguta and Asanyogascha Sutena. So define Dhruti and explain the features of Dhruti can be one of SAQ. So this is about important what you call Prakriya Paribhashas that have been discussed. So please forgive me if I am very fast because so many topics are there under Paribhasha and I am giving you the references, showing you the references. So I request you to make a note of these references and refer it on your own later. I am just trying to emphasize important points for exam preparation because we have already covered more than an hour now, and to reduce the length of the topics, I am just going little faster. Parada Samskara is also again one of the important topics. 18 Samskaras there given in Rasaratna Samachaya 11th chapter, which are given in this particular shloka, 4-line shloka. 18 Samskaras are there as per Rasaratna Samachaya. But you are going to study 8 Samskaras in detail. 8 Samskaras in detail. That is first 8 Samskaras: Svedana, Mardana, Murchana, Uttapana, Patana, Rodhana, Niyamana and Deepana. These 8 Samskaras are like you are going to study these 8 Samskaras in detail. Any of the Samskara can be a question. Define Svedana Samskara, explain the procedure of Svedana Samskara can be a question. Or enumerate Ashta Samskaras of Parada, explain Svedana Samskara in detail can be a question. Or this gives a way to numerous MCQs, my dear students. See, I have given it in red. Malashaitila Karakam is outcome of Svedana Samskara. So I can frame a MCQ. Which among the following Samskaras is Malashaitila Karaka? I will give option A, Deepana, option B, Niyamana, option C, Patana, option D, Svedana. Like this, I can frame n number of questions on Ashta Samskaras of Parada. So next is Mardana Samskara, which is useful for Bahirmala Vinashanam. And in next second shloka, the list of ingredients that are useful for doing Mardana Samskaras are given. So I suggest that first shloka that is given in Rasaratna Samuchaya, those who are good in by-hearting the shlokas, if you can by-heart these shlokas, it will be very easy for you to remember and recollect and write. So this shlokas of Rasaratna Samuchaya 8th chapter, Ksharamla Raushadharvapi Dola and Prestitasya is the definition of Svedana Samskara. at the end of which he gives the outcome of that samskara, Malashaitilya Karakam. Next, he says Bahirmala Vinashanam for Mardana Samskara. Vangahi Bhujakanchuka Nashanam for Murchana Samskara. Murcha Vyapatti Nashanam for Uthapana Samskara. Vangahi Samparkaja Kanchukagnam for Patana Samskara. Klaibyapaham in Rasatarangini and Sthitirastapani Kumbhe is given for Rodana Samskara as per Rasaratna Samachya. Niyamana Samskara Chapalatva Nivrittaye. The outcome of this particular Samskara is given, and Grasarthi Tridinam Swedo is given for Deepana Samskara. Like this, all 8 Samskaras, one definition is given. In the second sloka, from other references, some ingredients have been given. So all these 8 Samskaras are 8 different questions. Enumerate Ashta Samskaras of Parada. Explain Deepana Samskara in detail. Can be another question. Or which among the following Samskara is Grasarthi? Or which among the following, by which following Samskara Parada becomes Grasarthi? So this can be one of the questions for MCQs. So all these 8 Samskaras, as I just told you, one definition of Svedana, Mardana, Murchana, Uttapana, Patana, Rodana, Niyamana and Deepana from Rasaratna Samchaya, 8th chapter. Please try to by heart. So this is the particular summary of Ashta Samskaras that are given for a quick view. I have highlighted those 8 particular points. Malashaitilya Karakam is Vedana Samskara, Bahirmala Vinashanam is Mardana Samskara, Nashtapishthatva Karakam is Murchana Samskara, Murcha Vyapatti Nashanam is Uthapana, Vangahi Samparkaja Kanchukagnam is Patana, Klaibyapaham is Rodana, Chapalat Nivritte is Niyamana, and Grasarthi Svedam is Deep. This is about Ashta Samskaras of Parada. This is again under Paribhasha, Drutagrasa Parinamo, Vidayantradiyogatah, Jaranetyuchadesyaha, Prakara Santi Kotishaha is a by-heartable definition of Jara. And classification of Jarana is also a question. Define Jarana and explain classification of Jarana can be one of the question. Bhuchari Jarana, Khechari Jarana is MCQ. Right? Bhuchari and Khechari are the types of Murchana, Bandhana, Jarana, Dhruti. Can be a ABCD options given under MCQ. So Samukha and Nirmukha are the types of Jarana, Bandhana, Murchana can be MCQs. So define Jarana and classification of Jarana is SAQ, or few questions can be framed out of MCQ. And Murchana, apart from the Murchana Samskara, Syat Svedanam, Tadanam, Mardanam, Murchanam, the third Samskara of Parada that we have already discussed, there is a specific procedure that is given that is called as Murchana, Dirgha, Murchana. Syat Svedanam, Tadanam, Mardanam, Murchanam is, there is Anuswaram, here Murchana, Dirgha. So this Murchana speaks about the method of preparation of Rasa Yogas. Tattatvidhi prabhedena rasasya avyavicharitaha vyadigataka syat samata murchana budaihi is an important definition that has to be by hearted. This is a classification of Murchana. Again, define Murchana, write the classification of Murchana can be a 5-mark question. Sagandha and Nirgandha are the types of MCQ. Sneha, Murchana, Bandhana, Jarana can be the question. Okay, you can see that Sagandha and Nirgandha, Sagni, Niragni under each category, and preparations like Parpati, Sindura, Makaradvaja are the classifications of Murchana. And this particular topic also is repeated under another topic called as Chaturvidha Rasayanam, and all the Parada Kalpas are discussed under this particular topic. As this topic is related only with Paribhasha here, we are discussing only Paribhasha. Parada Bandha is a nice to know topic, so you cannot expect a detailed question on Parada Bandha for SAQ. So you can feel relaxed under this. But it can be one of the topic for MCQ. So number of Parada Bandhas can be another question. So in case if there are 25 and 26 both numbers, then you should be in doubt. Because as per Rasaratna Samachaya, number given is 25, and later he explains one bandha called as Jalauka bandha. So you should be very careful and vigilant while answering this particular MCQ. And this is about Jarana, Murchana and Bandhana. Next, you have Pramaneekarana Paribhasha that is given about Grahyagrahyatvam and Siddha Lakshana and Bhasma Pariksha. And in Rasashastra, I have included only one or two examples here, but you should understand that there are references of Grahya and Agrahatva given for almost every drug in Rasashastra. You have 8 Maharasas, 8 Uprasas, 8 Sadharana Rasas, 9 Ratnas, 9 Dhatus, 6 Uparatnas. So the number of is as almost more than 70 drugs, different drugs categorized under different headings under Rasadravya. Most of the drugs Grahya Agrahyatvam is given. So Grahya and Agrahyatvam is one of the important concept here given under Paribhasha, that Grahya and Agrahyatvam has to be understood for each and every drug. Here you can see the example of Abraka is given, where Rasaratna Samuchaya says Grahya Lakshana Shloka. Snigdam Pratudalam Varna Sayuktam Bharatodikam Sukha Nirmocha Patram. Here the Grahya features of Abraka. And under this Krishna Vajrabhram is Grahyam and other types of Abrakam is Agrahyam. So Kaparda says Pitava, Grantike, Prashta, Dirgavritta, Varatika is the identity, so Grahya Lakshana given, that is ideal characteristic feature, yellowish colored on the Prishta, backside of the Kaparda. You can see in this, in the photos, the topmost left side that is given is Pitaba, Grantike, Prashta. The 4 diagrams given, photos given in the bottom have different colors, multiple colors, which are not ideally useful for Aushadha Nirmanam. So that is why Grahya Grahyatvam for individual drugs like Abraka, Gandhaka, Swarnamakshika, Vaikranta, Vajra, everything is one of the important topics. Next point given under Paribhasha is Siddhi Lakshanam. Siddhi Lakshanam means the test for perfectness. You can consider as a test for completion, test for perfectness. Siddhi Lakshana of Bhasma is Bhasma Pariksha. Test for perfectness of Bhasma is Bhasma Pariksha. Whereas Siddhi Lakshana is given under 2 different contexts here from Sharangadhara Samhita, Sneha Siddhi Lakshana and Avaleha Siddhi Lakshana. So this again will be a point that is repeated under Avaleha Kalpana and Sneha Kalpana. But as far as Paribhasha is concerned, you have to consider these Siddhi Lakshanas under Paribhasha. So explain Siddhi Sneha Siddhi Lakshanas can be a 5-mark question as per Paribhasha, or explain Avaleha Siddhi Lakshana can be a 5-mark question as per Paribhasha. Then you are supposed to write this definition or this shloka and explain individual points like second shloka you can see Supakve, Tantumatvam Sat, Avaleho Apsumajjati, Stiratvam Pidite Mudra, Gandhavarna Rasodbhava. This shloka you have to write 4 points. Avaleha Siddhi Lakshana, Tantumatvam is first point, Apsumajjati is second point, Stiratvam Pidite Mudra is third point, Gandhavarna Rasodbhava is 4 points. If you write this definition and write these 4 points, definitely you will get all the 5 marks for this SAQ. So like this you have to answer Siddhi Lakshana questions if it is asked from Paribhasha point of view. Next particular question is Bhasma Pariksha. Again enumerate Bhasma Parikshas and explain Varitaratvam. Enumerate Bhasma Parikshas andre you have to enlist the different Bhasma Parikshas and explain one Bhasma Pariksha for 5 marks. Enumerate Bhasma Parikshas and explain Nirdhumatvam. Enumerate Bhasma Pariksha, explain Apunarbhavatvam can be a question. Or you can get 2 Bhasma Parikshas for 5 marks. Explain Varitara and Rekha Purna Bhasma Pariksha can be for 5 marks. So like this, and you may expect MCQ questions also from this. Usually Amla Dadi Pariksha that is done for what you call Tamra Bhasma Pariksha is one of the MCQs. Usually it comes under MCQ. And this Nirutha Pariksha that is usually done using Rajata Patra as the additive that is added during the Pariksha. Rajata Patra is added in a Musha, Bhasma is added and it is heated. So Rajata Patra is used in which Bhasma Pariksha can be one of the MCQ question. Mitra Panchaka drugs are used in which Bhasma Pariksha can be one of the MCQ questions. Or enumerate Bhasma Parikshas and explain Varitaratvam, explain Rekha Purnatvam, explain Uttamam can be a Bhasma Pariksha, can be a SAQ question. So you see that Apunarbhava Pariksha is done by using Mitra Panchaka, Nirutta Pariksha is done using Rajata Patra. Nishchandra Pariksha is specifically done for the drugs having luster like Swarna, Swarnamakshika, and Abraka. But in Abraka context, it is specifically mentioned that Tadeva Chandra Sanyuktam Meham Mandanalam Charet. That Abraka Basma having Chandra Yukta, that is shining or lustrous particles, will produce Meha and Mandagni. So, like this, there are references about Nischandra Pariksha. And Sukshma Pariksha is mentioned under again Abraka Pariksha as per references in Ayurveda Prakasha. Abraka Basma should be Nischandrakam Susukshmam Lochananjana Sannibham. So these 3 points are given as the points under Basma Pariksha. Shlakshnatvam is given under Kasisa Basmam in Rasatarangini. He says Suslakshnam Jayate Basmam Saradosha Vivarjitam. So Slakshnatvam is that smoothness of Basma is one of the Basma Vrikshas. Dantagre Kacha Acha Bhavam is when you keep some Basma on the tip of tongue and try to bite it, it should not produce a kach sound like biting a bubble gum. So that is called as Dantagre Kach Kacha Bhavam is usually mentioned for Sikata Varga drugs like Abraka. Nirdhumatvam in Ayurveda Prakasha you get reference in Talamritam Tadajnyo Mannistam Dhuma Varjitam. It should be Nirdhumam. Like this you get references of Nirdhuma Basma Pariksha. And Avami, Gatarasatvam, Niramlatvam, Jihagre, Adahyamanatvam, etc. are the different Basma Parikshas. Amladadi Pariksha is specifically mentioned for Tamra Basma or Nimbu Swarasa Pariksha. Again, Nimbu is Amla, so Nimbu Swarasa Pariksha also can be done instead of Amladadi Pariksha for Tamra Basma. So these are the Dhatu Varna as per Dhatu Pariksha, Basma Pariksha. These are the different Varnas mentioned for Basmas. Is again a MCQ question. So Abraka Basma is having dash color. He will give options: red, white, black, blue can be the options that are given. Swarna Basma will have which color? This is Swarnam Champaka Varnabham. Rajata Basma will have dash color. Rajata and Tamra will have Krishna Varna. Vanga Basma will have which color? Chandramam. Chandramam is whitish, like milky white. It is Vanga Basma color. So like this, all this can be MCQ questions. Dhatu Basma Varnam. So this is about the Basma Pariksha, Siddhi Lakshanas, and what you call Grahyatvam and Agrahyatvam. And Puraka Paribhasha, Dhanvantari Bhaga and Rudra Bhaga is a nice to know topic. So there is probably no possibility of SAQ that is asked, but MCQ definitely can be asked. That is, what is the Dhanvantari Bhaga for Avaleha? What is Dhanvantari Bhaga for Siddharasa? What is Dhanvantari Bhaga for Taila? What is Dhanvantari Bhaga for Ghrita? What is Dhanvantari Bhaga for Vati? Can be a MCQ question because MCQ can include nice to know topics also. So please be vigilant. One question is possible from Dhanvantari Bhaga under MCQ, or one question is possible from Rudra Bhaga in MCQ. Rudra Bhaga 1/11 is Rudra Bhaga. Whatever may be the preparation, 1/11 is Rudra Bhagam. So it can be a MCQ. The last topic that is discussed under Paribhasha is Mana Paribhasha. Mana Paribhasha, you have to write a definition of Mana. This any one definition you can better is Sarangadara Prathama Kanda first chapter. Namanena Vinayaktir Dravyanam Jayate Kvachita Ata Prayoga Karyartham Manamatrochate Maya. Is can be what you call a quotation that is studied. Or if you find it difficult, you can Parimanam Vina Kwapi Nagadda Jayate Phalam Vaidyaka Paribhasha Pradesh. Then Agada, that is the medicine is prepared. You have to have a due consideration of Mana. If you prepare any Agada without Parimanam, then na Agada Jayate Phalam. From that Agada, no phala, no desired effects can be seen. That which emphasizes the importance of Mana. And Charaka Vimanasthanam, you have a quotation, a big quotation which says that you have to give due consideration for Mana when you estimate dosha, desha, bala, kala, sharira, sara, ahara, satmya, sattva, prakriti, vaya, and based on this only the quantity and quality of the Bheshaja has to be decided. That is why awareness of Mana is very essential. So this you can expect a SAQ, short answer question write definition of mana and write importance of mana. Definition of mana from Sharangadhara Samhita, I told you that you have to by heart this, but I don't expect you to by heart this shloka, but definitely the points considered under this shloka as per Charaka Vimanasthana emphasizes importance of mana. So please make a list of these particular points which Charaka have told that the mana of these points is essential in deciding successful treatment. And there are two types of mana according to Sharangadhara, Magadamana and Kalingamana rather. And he says Kalingat Magadam Shreshtam. Magadamana is a Shreshtamana. So this can be a what you call SAQ. What are the write about define mana and write the classification of mana can be SAQ. And if it is SAQ, then you define mana, write the classification, and under classification you have to include these 2 points. Magadamana is according to Charaka and Kalingamana is according to Sushruta. Magadamana was popular in Magadha Desha, that is Bihar, and Kalingamana is popular in Kalinga, that is Orissa. And according to Magadamana, 1 masha is equal to 1 gram. According to Kalingamana, 1 masha is equal to 750 gram. These points you have to include when you write SAQ under this particular question. And there is another classification, Pautavam, Dhruvayam and Payam, based on the what you call measurement of length, measurement of volume, and measurement of weight. And there is again a separate mana that is given under heading called as Kalamana, where Rutucharya is given. Nimisha, Muhurta, like this till Samvatsara, Rutu, Ayana, Paksha, Masa, all these things are given under Kalamana. And this is one of the MCQ that is usually asked, that which is the most what you call minutest particle as per Mana Paribhasha. Then you should say that the point that is visible with our naked eye is called as Vamshi or Dvamsi, and 1/30th part of Vamshi, most smallest visible part is Vamshi, and 1/30th part of that is called as Paramanu. So this is one of the MCQ. Most minute visible particle is dash, can be one MCQ. Or what is 1/30th of Vamsi is can be a question. Or most minutest mana that is given in our Samhitas is Paramanu. And you have Magadamana according to Sharangadhara. This is a chart that is given as per the references of Sharangadhara. And you just can see that different synonyms are given for example, you have 1 masha, which is also called as 1 hema or 1 dhanyaka, can be MCQ question. What is 1 gunja? 1 ratti, 1 tola, 1 kola, 1 pala can be one MCQ that is framed. And you can see for 2 kola, that is 1 karsha, you can see the number of synonyms that are given in the last line. Panimanika, Aksha, Pichu, Panitala, Kinchit Pani, Tinduka, Vidalaksha, Vidalapadaka, Shodashika, all the Karamadya, Hamsapada, Suvarna, Kavalagra, Udumbara. So now you just can understand the number of questions that can be framed. I can frame at least 20 questions from this one slide. 20 different MCQs can be framed. Or you can have a SAQ, define mana, and explain the components of Magadha mana according to Sharangadhara. Can be a question. Then you have to write this chart. 30 Paramana is 1 Prasarenu, or Vamshi, 6 Vamshi is 1 Marichi, 6 Marichi is 1 Rajika, 3 Rajika is 1 Sarshapa. This can be a chart that you can write. This is about Magadamana, continuation of Magadamana from Karsha to what you call Shukti, Shukti to Pala, Pala to Prasriti, Prasriti to Anjali, Anjali to Manika, Prastha, Adaka, Drona, Shurpa, Droni, Khari, Bhara and Tula. All are MCQs. Now you can imagine at least 50 different MCQs that can be framed from this particular chart. Then you have a very important question. Explain, define, or write about Chaturgunamana can be SAQ. Again, I don't expect you to by heart this sloka, but if you can able to by heart, it is very good because it is easy to remember. Mashatankaksha Vilvani Gudo Prastamadakam Rashir Goni Kariketi Adotra Chaturguna can be one of the important topic, important sloka that can be, if it is possible. Otherwise, this chart which is given below is 4 masha is 1 tanka, which is equal to 3 gram. 4 tanka is 1 aksha, 12 gram. 4 aksha, 1 bilva, 48 gram. Like this, you go multiply by 4 to each component. Last is 4 gonis, 1 khari, 196 kg, 196.6.8 kg. That is the chart which you can write repeatedly and like learn. This is the only way that you learn, that you write this repeatedly and learn, so that you will be able to answer this type of questions if it comes in examination. This is about Kalingamana given in Sharangadhara Samhita, and you can see that only first few components are given, and later after one Kudava, it is equal to the Magadamana, which is already discussed. And this is about Payamanam. Payamanam is usually considered under Putaprakaranam. So usually the Putaprakaranam, like Gajaputa, Mahaputa, Varahaputa, Kukutaputa, Kapotaputa, all these measurements, one Rajahasta, Dvihastam, one Aratni, one Vitasti, all these things comes under that. So if you study it here under Mana Paribhasha, then it is easy for you to understand the Putaprakaranam. And of course, I can frame around 5 to 6 questions of MCQ here, or I can ask you a SAQ, define mana and explain the components of Payamanam. Then you are supposed to write this chart for this particular SAQ. And Dhruvayamanam, this Bindu to Panishukti is given as per the reference under Dhruvayamanam, and one Bindu is defined by Todarananda. What is one Bindu? And as per the description, I have one more slide later. As per the descriptions of one Bindu, 8 Bindu makes I will take you there first. 8 Bindu makes 1 Shana, that is equal to 4 ml. So as per this, 1 Bindu is equal to 0.5 ml, which is given as per AFI. And 1 drop is 0.05 ml. So please remember, when you translate Bindu to what English, please do not call Bindu as drop. 1 Bindu as per AFI is 0.5 ml, whereas 1 drop is 0.05 ml, where 10 drops makes 0.5 ml. 1 Bindu is equal to 10 drops. Please remember. So that is why I have given this exclusively here. That is based on a the research article that is collected. So this one, Kalamanam, is useful for your Ratucharya Adhyaya of Charaka Samhita also, where Gati, Muhurta, Horatra, Paksha, Masa, Rutu, Ayana, Samvatsara, all these things. Again, I can frame 2-3 important MCQs here. One Muhurta is equal to 1 hour, 2 hour, 24 minutes to 48 minutes can be the options that are given. And 1 Ayana is equal to, it can be a MCQ that can be framed. And Kudava Patra is the topic given in Sharangadhara Samhita, which is a volumetric measurement of a vessel that is prepared, which is called as Kudava Patra. And it is said that it should have a length and depth of 4 angula, and it can be prepared out of clay, bamboo, and metal. This can be a Kudava Patra Nirmana, can be SAQ or MCQ. And this we have already discussed. And metric equivalents of all these manas is given as per AFI. So this also can be MCQ. 1 pala is equal to 48 gram, 28 gram, 24 gram, 12 gram can be the options that is given. 1 karsha is equal to can be option that is given. And even though it is not for MCQ, you have to better by heart this chart, because most of the formulations, the dosage that is given, matra that is given. So for example, for churna, it is advised that churna is taken in a dose of 1 karsha. Swarasa, if it is Sagni Siddha Swarasa, it is given in 1 pala. If it is Niragni Siddha Swarasa, 24 Ardha pala. And see the reference of Vasavaleham, Vasakasya Rasaprastham, Manika Sita Sharkara, Vasakasya Rasaprastham. So Vasa Swarasa has to be taken in a 1 prastha quantity, that is 768 grams. Manika Sita Sharkara, the Khanda Sharkara that is added should be 1 Manika, that is 384 grams. So if we have this chart by hearted, so it is easy to remember. For every formulation, it is very easy to remember. Sitopala Shodashasya, Ashtosyat Vamshalochana, Pippalisya Chatushkarsha, Pippalisya Chatushkarsha, Syadela Chadvikarshiki, given for Sitopala Churnam. It is easy to remember if you have this chart in your mind. So I suggest you, of course, this is one of the important topic for MCQs. Otherwise also, I suggest you that you make a chart of this and repeatedly by heart this, write and learn, repeatedly write and learn, so that it is easy for you to remember whenever it is required. So with this, we have come to the end of my presentation on the topic 2, that is Paribhasha Prakaranam. You just can imagine the volume of various topics included under Paribhasha, and under topic 2 you can see that different questions I have probably told then and there under the topic I have told, but still, just to summarize, because you are all in the verge of writing examinations in the end of February, maybe third week of February, your examination starts. So you have to start your preparation for examination. So these are the possible questions, my dear student, from the topic which I have dealt today. That name Ashta Samskara of Parada, explain Murchana Samskara. Name Ashta Samskara of Parada and explain Rodhana Samskara. Name Ashta Samskara of Parada, explain Patana Samskara. All these can be different questions. Okay. Or enumerate Ashta Samskaras and their Phalashruti can be a question. Remember the chart which I have shown at the end of Ashta Samskaras of Parada. That chart has to be by hearted and written. And define mana. Write the importance of mana in Ayurveda pharmaceutics can be a question where you have to write the definition of mana. Miyate anena iti manam. Namanena vinayat viktar dravyanam jayate kvachit. All these things have to be included there. And importance of mana in Ayurveda pharmaceutics, based on the reference of Charaka Vimanasthana first chapter, you have to write importance of mana in Ayurveda pharmaceutics. Define samskara. Samskaro hinama gunantarajanam uchyate. Then role of samskara in medicine manufacturing, you have to write different toyagni sannikarsha, shaucha, mantana, desha, kala, bhavana, vasana, bhajana, kala prakarsha. All these things have to be written in different heading. Enumerate Panchavida, Shadvida, Saptavida, Kashaya Kalpana according to different authors. Panchavida Kashaya Kalpana, Swarasakalka, Kwata, Himafanta according to Charaka, Sarangadra, Ashtanga, Shadvida where Churna and Swarasa is included by Sushruta, Saptavida where Abhishava is added to the Churna, and Panchavida Kashaya Kalpana by Kashyapa have to be written. And write about Kashayoni, explain why Lavana is not included in Kashayoni. I have explained in the beginning. Discuss about difference between Aushadha and Veshaja with the classical reference. Please remember the reference given in Kashyapa Samhita Kilasthanam, where he explains the difference between Aushadhi and Veshaja. Define Murchana. यत्तत्विधिप्रभेदेन रसस्य अव्यभिचारतः व्याधिघातकतया स्यात् सामता मूर्छना बुधैः. Define. Whenever the word define is given, you are supposed to write this shloka. Classification of Rasa Yoga: Sagandha, Nirgandha, Sagni, Niragni. Under Sagandha, Sagni, Sagandha, Niragni, Nirgandha, Sagni, Nirgandha, Niragni, Parpati, Potali, Kupi, Pakurasa, and all these things can be added under classification of Rasa Yoga. Enumerate Maharasa. Write with English names and chemical formula, if any. Here, if you have by-hearted shloka, Abhravaikrantamakshiga, Vimaladrija Sasyakam, Chapalo Rasagasyati, Jnatvastav Sangrahe Drasan. If you have by-hearted shloka, then it will be easy for you to write this Maharasas in the sequence. If you have not by-hearted, no need to worry. But please see that you write these 8 names in the sequence and write their English name. Abraka is mica. And there is no specific chemical formula given for abraka, but it is a silicate of magnesium, calcium, and iron. And Sasyaka, you write CuSO for 7H2O. If it is Kasisa, you write FeSO for 5H2O. If it is Ingula, you write HGS. If it is Rasaka, you write ZnCO3 bar ZnS bar ZnO. Like this, if you write, you will be able to score full marks. Like that for Ratnavarga, Dhatuvarga, and Uparasavarga, all this is same. Write about Sandigdha Dravyasa of Rasashastra, that is controversial drugs of Rasashastra. You have to just give the list and tell what is the controversy. Say, what is the controversy Dvaikranta, what is the controversy Chapala, very briefly. Chapala, there is a controversy. Few scholars consider it as bismuth, few scholars consider it as selenium. Rasanjana, there is a controversy. Few scholars consider it as a Daruharidra Rasakriya, few scholars consider it as yellow oxide of mercury. Like this, you have to write under. If Sandigdha Dravya together is asked for SAQ, and if it only asked, write controversy of Rasanjana, then you have to write in detail who have told what Rasatarangini have told, what Vaiti Acharya have told. All these things have to be written. Write about artificial drugs of Rasashastra. you have to write about artificial preparation of chapala, gandaka, kasisa, all these things, tuttha, sasyaka, all these things which we have discussed have to be written here. Write about Pratinidhi Dravyas of Rasashastra. You have only two drugs, that is Vajrasthane, Vaikrantam. Mahakshika is used in place of Swarna. And define Shodhana, explain different types of Shodhana, different procedures of Shodhana with the suitable example. You have to write definition of Shodhana. Uddishtai, Uditai Raushadai Sardam, Kriyate Peshanadikam, Malavichittai Yettu Shodhanam Tadihochate. Must and should you have to write, because the question is define Shodhana. You will get 2 marks for that if it is a 5-mark question. Then you write 4-5 examples: Dhalana, Gandaka, Nirvapa, Abraka, Nirjalikarana, Tankana, Nimajjana, Vatsanaba. Like this, if you write 2, 3, 4 examples, you will get full marks. Define Shodhana, explain different procedures of, define Marana, explain different procedures of Marana. You have to write Shodhitan, Lohadatvadin, Vimartya, Swarasadibihi, Agni Sanyogato, Maranam, Amrati, Bhasmikaranam, Maranam, Smritam. Different procedures of Marana: Bhanupaka, Suryapaka, under Suryapaka, Puttapaka, Kupipakwa. If you write this, you will get marks. Bhasma Pariksha in brief. You have so many Bhasma Parikshas. So even if you write names in sequence and one line against that, you will get full mark. But you have to write the names. You should not simply write Bhasma Pariksha, Varitara, Rekha Purna, Apunarbhava, Niruttava, Uttama, Nirduma, Nischandra, Avami. If you write these technical words, then only you will get marks. If you write without these technical terminologies, then probably you will fail to score the marks. Even if you have written correctly, ideal Bhasma, that which floats on water, ideal Bhasma, that which will be inert, is correct. But if you do not use Apunarbhavam, Niruttam, Varitaratvam, Rekha Purnatvam, these are the terminologies, because we are discussing under Paribhasha. So if you write terminologies, you will be able to score full. If you do not write it without terminologies, sometimes you may not be able to score full marks. So please give due importance to the terminologies. Define Kajjali. It can be a SAQ. Write difference between Murchana and Jarana. Murchana yattat vidhi prabhedena rasasya vyabhicharataha is Murchana, and Jarana ityuchate dasya prakara sintikotishaha is a Jarana. You have to write difference between Murchana and Jarana. Shuddhavarta and Bijavarta. The color of flame during Sattvabatana. When it becomes the color of metal, it becomes Shuddha Bijavarta, and when it becomes white, it is Shuklavarta. And stages of Sandravana and Sattvabatana have to be written. Define Dhruti, and you write Panchada Dhruti Lakshana. You define Dhruti, write the definition of Dhruti. Santishtate Dravakaram Sa Dhrutihi, you write the definition and explain Panchada Dhruti Lakshana. Nirlepatvam, Dhrutatvam, Tejastvam, Laguta, Asanyogascha Sutena. Agrahyatva, Grahya and Agrahyatva for Rasadravya, suitable example. You have to write what is Grahyatvam, what is Agrahyatvam, and give one example. Maybe example of Abraka, Prutudalam Varna Sanyuktam Bharatodikam, okay, or Navanita Samaprabha, Katino Masrano Snigdaha, Sheshto Gandaka Uchate. So any Grahya and Agrahyatva can be considered here. And Sneha Siddhi Lakshana, Avalaya Siddhi Lakshana, Chaturgunamana, Mashatankaksha Vilvani Kudava Prastamadakam. All these can be, I have given only 31 here, number can increase. I have tried to explain then and there. So see that these are few possible MCQs, like Sasyaka belongs to which Varga, Kankushta belongs to which Varga, Kampilaka belongs to which Varga, Abraka belongs to which Varga, Hingula belongs to which Varga, can be a question. Shilajatu belongs to which Varga, Kampilaka belongs to which Varga. So all this can be different questions with the different options. And the question can be like this also: which among the following is cinnabar? Which among the following is yellow sulfide of, which among the following is yellow oxide of mercury? Which among the following is fool's gold? Which among the following is, like, based on the English names given for Maharasa, Uparasa, Sadharana Rasa, question can be framed. Which among the following drug is of herbal origin? Under here Kampilaka is a drug of herbal origin. Here I can change the question with Kankushta. So Kankushta can be an option. And difference between Bheshaj and Aushadhi specified by, see, remember Kashyapa Kilastanam. Which among the following is not a Kashayoni? Lavanavarjitam. Shadvida Kashaya Kalpana is mentioned by Sushruta. Saptavida by Kashyapa. Arka is a Panchavida Kashaya Kalpana according to Ravana, who has written Arka Prakasha. So if you know all these things, then it is possible to answer the question. Pouring of liquefied material into a liquid is dhalana. Which among the following is not a dhruti lakshana? For that you should know the panchada dhruti lakshana. Nirlepatvam, dhrutatvam, taijastvam, laguta tatha. Asanyogashta sutena panchada dhruti lakshana. So here laguta is changed with gurutva. So if you know panchada dhruti lakshana, then you will be able to answer this question. Otherwise, you will be always in a doubt whether Tejastva is right answer or Gurutva is right answer. You will be in a doubt. So you should have a strong knowledge of Panchada Dhruti Lakshana to answer this question. Which among the following samskara helps to remove external impurities? Bahirmala Vinashanam. Which is helpful to remove Nashtapishtatva Karakam. Samukha and Nirmukha are the types of. So like this, you can have n number of, like Mana Paribhasha, as I have told, Suvarna Pada, okay, or Shodashika is equal to which Mana. Karsha is equal to Aksha. Karsha is equal to Panitala. Karsha is equal to Tinduka. So all this based on synonyms, I can frame n number of questions in MCQs. And with this, I would like to conclude my topic saying that this is very big topic. Probably I have used more than almost 2 hours I have used to deal this topic. I hope I have tried to do justice to the topic that has been covered today. I have tried to highlight important SAQs and MCQs and important shlokas that you have to by heart under different sections of Paribhasha, as well as history and development of Aushadhi Nirmana. So with this, I would like to thank all of you for your patient listening, and I would like to conclude the topic here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. On behalf of my team, in despite not feeling well, you took the session very well, sir, and in very patient. Uh, Sir has very concisely explained the whole topic in very clearly and in detailed way. He also added examples for each samskara, which will be very helpful for you all to remember during exams as well as Viva. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, did one student asked doubt?
Yes.
Akshay has asked, what do you mean by Dehavada and Dhatuvada?
It is not Vadha, it is Vada. Dehavada and
Yeah.
Lohavada is the concept given in Rasashastra, where the mercury can be used to transform lower metals into higher metals, is explained under the concept called as Dhatuvadam. And Dehavada is a concept given under Rasashastra, where by consumption of mercury, your body, the person who consumes that, his body will become as strong as metal. So Dehavada and Dhatuvada are the concepts given in Rasashastra, the beneficial outcomes of using mercury. You have any other questions you can ask?
No, sir. Only this doubt was asked.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation. It was really beneficial for the ongoing NCISM batch. I sincerely hope many students are beneficial by today's session, sir.
Yeah, I request all of you to go through this um, like discussions again and again, because it is available in YouTube. All of you are requested to go through this again whenever you are like free, and make note of the points which have been discussed. Thank you very much.